So how the financing works, just so people know, is style 2 stories up and down.
I was wondering if one could syndicate new construction.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it now on one of our projects. The first and foremost is going to be your CMBS lenders. Yeah, the only thing I would really look at is the drainage on this property. It's fine because everything's flowing back. We got our man. Oh, I can see the man. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. So you're on camera. Say hi. Let's hop on in. Yeah, we'll put stuff in the back. Yeah, so looking at Charlotte, I mean, tell me a little bit about the areas that you like more than others, kind of looking at this map.
Okay. I did a study of like the entire city, right? And I went to the government website and I was looking at their strategy for progress.
Yeah, the general plan.
The general plan, what they think, Charlotte's gonna look like in 2040. And basically the areas that I detailed here, basically the first number is the percentage of homes that of growth, in homes that's gonna come from those areas, in the entire.
So pretty much you got your north and your south,
north,
right?
And the south.
Yep.
Yes. And then the second number is the job growth.
Yep.
So it's like homes and job growth percentages, in those particular areas.
Yeah, so it's population growth, job growth, and then median household income. And so just so that, you and anybody understand, like the first things you do before you're looking at any market, now you can use ChatGPT or AI, whereas before you'd have to go to individual websites for those cities and like extract that data. Now you can go onto AI and prompt it correctly and say, hey, give me a market analysis for Charlotte, North Carolina. Give me the past 3 years and the next 3-year trends on population growth, job growth, and median household income in percentage growth for each of the last 3 years and the next 3 years, and put it into a table for me. It'll give you that. And the next step would be go into the city development's general plan for these areas and tell me where they're planning to put money and see growth, and mark those on a map for me. So that way that's going to give you what's called path of progress, and it's going to let you know where things are probably headed, and maybe you can be just ahead of it, right? And be in that growth pattern, so where they can come right, behind you, and you can pick up a deal at a quote unquote discount, but it's not going to be a discount 5 years from now.
Correct.
And that's the whole concept of doing a little bit of market analysis. But AI will do a lot of it for you now with the prompts if you prompt it correctly for those things that we talked about. Yeah. So, where do you want to head first to kind of drive?
I was thinking down here.
Okay.
The south middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get a feel for the neighborhoods, the areas, kind of growth patterns and stuff like that. Go from there. Do you mean to guide you?
Yeah, I mean,
is there like an address you want me to plug in?
Like we're in Uptown.
Yeah.
We're kind of like
dead center, yeah.
North. So we can let's just do this upper north area.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I just came from where it says South Inner.
Yep.
I mean, that's like Coral Gables.
Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned a lot about kind of just looking at, because this is actually my first time in North Carolina, other than getting out of the airport. But yeah, I mean, you have it looks like 4 major cities in North Carolina. You have Durham, Raleigh, and then you have Chapel Hill, and then you have Charlotte, right? And those are kind of the 4 main metroplexes and MSAs within the Charlotte state, the state of Charlotte. And there's about, I think, what they say, 3 million people amongst those areas, Kevin?
It was, I think, 2.3 million in the Research Triangle.
Right, so that's the 3. Correct. That's Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. So you probably have, let's call it 3 million, 3.5 million people within those MSAs. So it's not terribly huge amongst all of those. And I'd be willing to bet you if we actually looked at it, it's probably closer to 5 million.
Those were the 2023 census.
But I'd be willing to bet you it's probably closer to 5 million amongst all of those. Just take a county, it's green, county of San Diego, okay? County of San Diego, we have 3.5 million people just in the county of San Diego. But downtown Charlotte, which is where we're at now, I mean, it's pretty nice. We were walking around here yesterday.
Kind of empty for a downtown.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're.
I was expecting traffic.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like if you go to downtown San Diego in the morning, it's actually pretty bustling.
Yeah,
because it's a relatively good sized city and a lot of people work and live downtown. But it depends.
A lot of financial buildings.
Right.
It's a financial hub. Definitely.
But yeah, it does seem pretty quiet right now. Yeah. But a lot of newer stuff down here. It looks, there's similarities to San Diego in terms of the high rises, the condo complexes and apartment buildings. It's definitely grown. They've built a lot.
I was wondering if one could syndicate new construction, like
just ground up.
Yeah, ground up.
Yeah, we're doing it now on one of our projects. And no different than an existing property. You have a deal, there's a certain amount of money that has to come into it. You can syndicate that and bring in your money with other people's money and quote unquote syndicate that deal.
Because
the returns are going to need to be better because it's new development, which means it tends to be a little riskier because it's not like it's an existing building where you know what it is. So you still have to go through that development and construction process. And because of that, investors are going to expect probably closer to a 30% return on their money. Okay. Because why would you take the risk? Look how gorgeous these homes are. God, that's cool.
You lock the land, and then you have to do the entitlements, the engineering, the architecture, all the other stuff that you get the permitting. And then you have to go get the loan. But usually a lot of the value for the loan is created through the entitlement process.
Right, so there's two stages when you're doing development, right? You have the entitlement stage, which is what you're talking about, where you buy the land, you have to get it entitled for what you can build on it. Yeah. And then once that's set, then you got to go build. So that's like stage 2. And so a lot of times the best way to do development is with cash. And then once you get the permits ready to go, then you pull the construction loan.
Correct.
And the reason why you want to do that is because depending on the municipality and the city that you're doing it in, it could be fast. If you're in California, it could take you 45 years. If you're in North Carolina, maybe it's 6 months to 8 months, but you're at the discretion of the city and the county, and everyone's different. It's super local and super unique. So you have to know that, right? And then therefore, you don't know the exact time it's going to take you. So for you to go pull a loan on a piece of land and then get into, you're not going to you could screw yourself because then now you're carrying a loan and land and all these other costs, and you don't know if it's going to take you 6 months or a year to get the permits.
Yeah,
so it's always best to buy it cash, entitle it cash, and or if there's an existing rental property on there, you can buy the property, fine, with a loan. It's rented out, so it's generating some cash flow while you go through the entitlements, that's fine. And then you bulldoze it and put a construction loan on it when you're getting ready to go vertical.
Yeah.
And that's the most efficient way to do it, so you don't get caught with your you-know-what in your hand, because you can't control the entitlement process. That's the hardest part. Is it can be fast, it can be slow.
Right.
You don't know.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Because then how would you, I guess, sell that to the investors? Because
so
you'd have to, the time frames, all you can do is try to explain to them, a time
frame. So you offset it with money. So that's why typically there has to be a larger, if we can pull up here and make a right, the next turn in. It comes up in the back in here. Yeah, that's why the returns typically have to be north of 25% a year. Because why would I stick my money into something if the risk reward return is not going to be worth it? So that's why development typically has to garner a higher return in order to attract investors in. It's all about risk reward. If you think about it like that, look at this. Wow. Is this North Carolina or is this North Carolina? We're in North Carolina. That's Victor. Say what's up.
What's up, guys?
One of our mentees. We got, who's that guy filming back there? Driving this just north of Charlotte. Look at these houses. How cool is this? This is about as Americana as you can get right here. That's cool. Beautiful. Looking at some apartments and driving back in some of these neighborhoods and stuff. This is crazy. I love how beautiful this is.
So picturesque.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so what do you see when you're looking at this? This is 8 units, they're townhome style, 2 stories up and down. But what does your eye see? If you're looking at these, trying to say, hey, do I like them? Do I not like them? What kind of shape are they in? Curb appeal, stuff like that. What would you look for?
Yeah, I think it looks like they've been painted, but there's the woodwork needs, around the balcony areas and things like that would need to be upgraded, right? Or
possibly.
Or is it that they just
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of wood rot, but not bad.
Not
I mean,
that
given
bad.
the age of the property.
Yeah.
But the windows have been redone. You can see those. Those are retrofitted.
Correct.
It does have rain gutters on it, but the one thing you'd probably want to do just for protection here, looks like they have the rain guards on them, actually. They do have rain guards on them for the leaves, but stuff like that, because it'll cost you money later, but it's a pitched roof.
Got a friend with this little
I'd probably paint the pavement.
Yeah, so you
Well, I
could
mean, just the parking.
Yes, you could re-slurry the parking lot and re-stripe it, they would call that.
Yeah.
But you notice it's got sitting areas up in the back, super quiet, tucked in here. It's got the trash set up pretty nicely. Your residents and stuff are pretty nice.
It
This
seems
thing
like a
tucks back
spot
in.
for like, you know, young professionals.
Big time.
You know?
Yeah, because you're in what's called NoDo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the NoDo area, which is nice, little outskirts of Charlotte, and tucks back in here, pretty cool. And they all have back decks on them. These are all townhomes, which is probably why they're trying to sell it for $250,000 a unit, which is pretty pricey.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, it's a nice property though. I mean, they've done a nice job. They all have front decks on them. Everything seems pretty well taken care of.
I like the wires.
So you could probably come in here and paint some of the wooding out front a little bit. So you could, just to preserve the wood, I'd probably do that for safety purposes.
It says short-term rentals.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these.
Yeah, so you probably won't oh, okay.
Yeah.
All of them?
All of them. I mean, it says.
So that's probably why it's penciling financially, which makes sense. You probably have either midterm, short-term stuff going on here where they can turn these things given the location. It may make sense for them to do that.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a little resort area.
But yeah, given the location to the city, this would make sense. But great little property tucked back in here.
It seems like.
I mean, they've done a nice job with it for what it is.
This is supposed to be an 8-plex.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Why am I counting 9?
You got 4 on each side.
But there's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's a 9-plex for a freebie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the things you always want to look for when you're coming on properties is going to be the roofing, number one, any kind of cracking and stuff on the bricks for foundational stuff, just to see, hey, maybe there's some movement. You want to look at the windows, the siding, rain gutters, making sure water's flowing away, the slopes and stuff to make sure the water's flowing away from the property from rain and stuff. So this all looks good. Everything's got rain gutters on it. Everything's flowing away from the property. Drainage is good away from the buildings. You have the rain gutters on it. You have slope roofs they're not flat roofs, they're sloped, which is nice. You don't need it, but it's nice to have that. But those are the things I look for. And then I don't see any major cracking on any of the brick and facade and stuff. So, you know, the soil's pretty good here, probably. They don't have any movement stuff going on. So overall, it's a nice property. I'd be interested to look at the financials on it. If it's a short-term rental, it would probably make sense out here in this area.
It looks like these are short terms.
Yeah.
And these are private.
Oh, gotcha.
These are private.
So
and these are-
50-50.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I'd be interested to look at those financials because that's an interesting mix, and it may make sense
is.
with the younger demographic coming in and out of here, staying for 3 months at a time. You could have the medical stuff here with the kids, so that would make sense. We're going to go meet with some of the brokers and stuff here in just a little bit, and then some property managers with a couple lenders locally, and kind of setting that market, you know, for Charlotte. So that way, you know, Victor has kind of got it in place and ready to go. And then it's just a matter of deal flow and underwriting, finding, analyzing, writing offers, until they start to pop. Let's go. So we're actually here at a credit union. So how the financing works, just so people know, is you really have the financing for commercial apartments are coming from 3 pockets. The first and foremost is going to be your CMBS lenders. These are your local commercial banks in the region, in the city, that you have to build local connections and relationships with. The brokers, commercial real estate brokers, are going to be your lure in to pretty much your gatekeepers of all those folks, because they're going to know who the lenders are that their other clients are using. They're going to know who the property managers are that their other clients are using. They're going to know the construction and renovation crews and so forth. So we're going to go into a credit union. They have tighter lending constraints. They're not going to, you know, want to put out as much money, but they'll put out money for apartment. The next ones are your local community banks for commercial community banks. And then the ones beyond that are Freddie and Fannie Mae. Those are they're called agency lenders. Those are national lenders for commercial properties. Any questions on that? Yeah, because I know you made this, so this is Skyla, it's a credit union.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then talking about a community local bank and all that stuff, which would be for the commercial stuff. So.
Correct. Yeah.
Any questions you got, Kev? No? All right, let's go. population growth, stuff like that from median household income. But are there certain areas you guys like more than others?
Well, I mean, it depends where you're going. I'm guessing like some value add.
Probably medium to lighter, right? So let's say it was a 20 unit where they've done some exterior reno, so the exterior looks pretty decent. Maybe half the interiors are touched up, some movement in there. Maybe you add washer dryer connections if they don't have them, depending on the age of the building.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any specific areas. I mean, the really sexy areas like South End, Belmont, like those are going to be super expensive.
Yeah.
And a lot of the value add has been done. If you can find something like that, it's going to get bid up pretty hard.
What are you looking at like on a general price per unit? I mean, is it
For like 90s and newer.
Yeah, or let's say even 1980s.
I mean, 80s you can actually usually do pretty well because people are afraid of the poly for plumbing.
Even on 1980s, huh?
Oh, yeah.
But they're probably using ABS at that point, right? On
Now 80s is really like...
Still cast iron?
No, poly. So it's the gray pipe.
Oh. Yeah.
Anything built in the 80s, like that's
For the sewer piping?
No, for the actual...
The active lines.
Behind the, yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's
So it's not a copper line.
no, it's plastic, but
Like a-
it hasn't stood the test of time. It's really brittle.
So they used a lot.
Any way
Okay.
that it turns, like it tends to, it's like all breaking down now.
Got it.
So it's
Okay, so that makes sense. So they okay, so we call that PEX, right? But like the PEX, the good PEX didn't start until recently.
So that's right.
Yeah.
Basically, it is.
But they used that shitty PEX back in the 80s.
Exactly.
That's what you're talking
And
about.
it's correct.
Okay.
So people also call it gray.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you want to be careful of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sewer lines are different, but yeah, the active water lines, because that's leaks, floods, all kinds of stupid stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't know that because usually the PEX, a lot of the PEX stuff didn't really start until 2000s.
Yeah.
And it's the better
And it
PEX,
was good.
quality PEX. Before that's like copper. Interesting. And then before that would be
Galvanized?
galvanized.
Yeah.
Galvanized piping. It's interesting. I wonder if that's a North Carolina thing. I didn't know the poly.
I don't think so. I think that's nationwide.
Okay.
And copper,
Interesting.
Like we just sold a deal over by Asheville that's on well.
Yeah.
So if you ever have well and copper together, that can be a little bad, depending on
Because of the corrosion in the water and stuff like that. Okay.
So they got to replace all the plumbing
Holy shit.
because it's just eating through it.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things you.
These are the little things, right?
But in the Charlotte, like 30 miles from downtown Charlotte, I would say 165, 170 up.
Okay.
Like we've got a deal out in Mooresville right now that's at 180. I would say it's light value add. The exteriors look good. Most of the interiors have been renovated. There's still some room to push rent still and renovate a few units. And we're at 180, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 180. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess anytime you can take a complex and with maybe light renos, bump rents $150 per month per unit, great. If it's a heavier reno, north of $200 per unit per month would be great. So you get your return on cost. But that's kind of what would be that buy box. And I don't think buying something that's totally turnkey, because then you're just pushing cash flow versus at least being able to push some reno for, a refi 2-3 years down the road to help out with that would be good.
Yeah. Was the plan and the play exactly that? Like go in, you do the reno, whether it's light or medium, then you pull the money back out. And if you
Within 24 to 36 months, if the market allows it, right? If interest rates make sense and the value's there, then you push the NOI good enough to where you can actually make that happen and still keep the leverage at 70% or less, then yes.
and then just pull.
And then rinse and repeat. Yeah, and move and do some more and get into larger ones. So, I mean, that's how we originally started was literally one condo during the financial crisis for like $100,000. And then we got into little duplexes and fourplexes. I wish we would have never done those, but we did. But I didn't understand the game of money yet. I thought, we had to do it all with our own money, right? We got to take this money, do it all with our own, and then pull the money out. And then I learned this game of OPM, right? Other people's money. Oh, so you tell me that I can go buy this complex with a little bit of mine and a lot of other people's. Everybody makes money together, and then we can scale. So that's kind of what, once that clicked and I kind of put it all together, I'm like, syndicating. Oh, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
So that's what allowed that to grow. So.
And is that what you're looking to do too?
Yes. Yeah. Well, because I mean, anybody in the space that's younger or growing, I mean, very few people are stroking checks for $1 million, $2 million on their own. Usually it's, okay, we're buying a $2 million property. You're going to need, call it 30% down for simple math. So that's 600, 100, is that right? $3 million for, So 30% down, So let's say 900 grand down, and then you're bringing in 90 grand, 10% of your own. You're raising 800 grand from OPM, other people. And you're producing a 15 to 18% annualized return for them, tax benefits, all that other stuff, and everybody can win.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, you mean I can wipe out my taxes too? I'm like, yeah. Now it's 100%, back to 100%. Once people see that, that's usually when they go like, is this legal?
Yeah.
I'm like, I said, this is exactly it. Why is it legal? I said, because you're moving a lot of money. I said, that's why the IRS loves it.
Because the people that benefit from it contribute a lot more.
Well, yeah, because they like once somebody explained kind of the money system, because I didn't fully get it. They said, listen, the IRS is not doing it because they out of their good heart. They're doing it because the more money that moves in the U.S. capitalistic system, the more revenue gets generated. More revenue means more tax revenue. So even though they're going to give all the tax benefit to call it the creator who did it, the people that are employed by that, from that, pay all the taxes. It made sense because I was like, cool. So we can go do this, and then we create a lot of these jobs, which you do. I mean, one multifamily apartment building of any decent size touches 50 to 80 industries. Most people don't know that. Like from everybody, title, escrow, I mean, you name it. It's just crazy. And then the money flows through that system, and taxes and all kinds of things get paid from it, and the IRS makes revenue. So then do it again.
Local municipalities get their property.
All the above. All the above.
Yep.
So it's just a movement of money. And so that's why the tax benefits and the bonus depreciation and all that stuff makes sense.
Yep.
It's pretty wild when investors get to see that. Usually we're able to raise a lot of money this time of year because everybody's looking at their tax issue. They're like, oh shit, I have to go pay the IRS 100 grand this year. Well, I said, yeah, you have two options. You can give it to a black hole, which is the IRS, or you can go buy a multifamily apartment building or invest in one, and you're going to get almost $1 for dollar K1 paper loss that you can take back and wipe out your taxable event. They're like, really? I said, yeah. They're like, but I'm a doctor. I said, is your wife working or not working? They're like, well, she's a stay-at-home, but she actually has a real estate license. I'm like, beautiful. I said, now you're going to wipe everything out.
My wife's a doctor.
There you go. And you're the real estate person. So now you have a W-2 with a 1099. You get the holy grail.
Buying 2 tiny homes this year.
Yeah.
Because those are hell for them.
Yeah. Oh, because you get, are those like short-term? You do short terms on those? Okay. Yeah. So you get that.
Vehicles.
Gotcha.
Technically.
Yeah. So you get that little loophole that's in there.
Yeah, mine is a very narrow. But most people, like you said, your point, like as long as you've got one not working person or actual real estate.
Yeah.
But in most cases, it's like, I got to stay at home park.
Yeah, she has her real estate license, and then maybe she does a little here, a little there. 700 hours a year, which is like 15 hours a week. I mean, you can look on Crexy.com for a couple hours doing that.
And really, it just has to be on the spreadsheet.
Right.
Nobody's coming to look at your
Right. Yeah. I mean, so what would you say is probably the top thing? And I think I know the answer, but when you're looking to work with a client, or here I call it the pre-market stuff, because there's phases, as you know, the properties go through. You guys get the deals, you put your OMs together. Maybe you send it out to 25 to 50 of your initial investors before it ever hits a website. So it's being able to have a relationship that can at least get access to that in some form in a pre-market phase. But that's all relationships, right? And just knowing you can execute, you can close. You kind of know what you're talking about a little bit.
I mean, that last one's important, but honestly, like as long as you're open and willing to learn, and like, even if you're like, I don't know what I don't know, that's fine. But what we don't ever like is like people that can't perform, people that can't execute. Makes
you look bad. You get into escrow and you find out, oh shit.
And some of that's on us as brokers to vet people out. But
and I always tell, it's like you can let the broker know you syndicate your equity, right? Just be straight up about it, and then you get your lenders lined up, which is why setting up that team locally in the market before you're executing on deals is important. Well, from the lending side, so at least you get 60 or 70% of your debt taken care of, and now you're talking about, okay, where's the equity coming from? And then, okay, we're going to syndicate it, so we're going to bring in 10 to 15% of that money on our own, and then we're going to syndicate the rest through our partners that we already have kind of pre-teed up. This is kind of what we're looking for. We need certain returns that'll obviously entice anyone to want to come into it. And usually to get an investor to pull money out of a 401k or a stock market or a crypto account or an IRA or anything else they're pulling their money from, it's got to probably be north of 14, 15% a year and tax benefits on top of that to get them excited. it.
Yep.
So we just kind of back into that.
And what do you guys typically do for a waterfall?
Usually it's like a 6 to 7 pref if we do a pref, but 6 to 7 pref, and then usually a 70-30. So that's how we're able to juice that return and give the investor something that makes sense.
That's pretty strong, actually. 6 especially. Like typically we're seeing like 8 for pref and then 70-30.
You know, it's all relative. Like when you back into the numbers, right? If you're, okay, we need to squeeze another point or two out to give the investors, sure, you can offer a little higher pref or a better split to juice it.
Depending on how you think to
Structure it. Right.
And then fee-wise, what do you guys do? Fee kind of?
We only do an acquisition fee, 2 to 3%, and then maybe a disposition fee. And you'll do an asset management fee for just basic covering cost of time for 1 to 2% of revenue. And that's about it. Like we don't nickel and dime the fee structure to where refi fee and show up tomorrow fee. And I mean, I've seen them right inside of these PPMs. I mean, there's 14 different fees to the moon.
The syndicated, the GPs are the only ones that make money, and the LPs lose their ass.
Yeah.
Works fine for 1 or 2 deals, but then
It'll catch up with you. If you're not, producing good returns, I mean, listen, you can't control the market. Sometimes deals don't go as planned, but as long as it's not a you problem and it's a market problem, we can work with the market problem, right? But if you're being shady, that's a different scenario. We have, thankfully, only 1 deal. It could have been 3. Knock on wood, that we bought right at the end of 2021, right before 2022. And we used the typical variable rate debt going into Reno and bridge debt financing. Thankfully, it was only 1. Because if it would have been 3, a couple of them may have been back to the bank by now. But we got out of that one and got into Fannie Mae debt, fixed rate debt. I mean, we barely made that one work. It was a cash in refi. We squeezed that thing so far across the finish line and made that thing happen, but it was gnarly.
Yeah.
I ended up moving out to the property into one of our model units for 2 months to help get the reno done so we could get leased up to get that thing refinanced. Because I'm like, if we don't, guys, shit's creek.
did you guys have to do a capital call on it
Yeah.
to do the cash in? Yeah.
And we had a couple choices. I just went straight, and once again, this is where it comes to having an uncomfortable conversation with the investors and having a courageous one to say, listen, guys, here's the situation. How do we want to handle it? We're going to bring in money, but we need everybody else to come in too. And we always bring in money to our deals. So we're never one of those syndicators that's like, oh,
Again, but it's from my fee.
yeah, my acquisition fee just reversed back in. No, you have to bring in actual money, which you should.
Or it's like, if you don't want to put your own money into it, you shouldn't be buying it.
Right. And we play LP and GP in our own deals. So our money comes in, we buy shares as an LP right alongside our investors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of groups that will do that, but it's like them just rolling.
Yeah, they're just rolling over their acquisition fee. Yeah. So there's no actual cash in. No, and I have people ask me that all the time, and I'm like, no. Like, you're bringing in 10%. That's period. And then your acquisition fee may offset a little bit of that, but very few lenders, very few equity partners are going to let you pull out more money than you put in.
Mm-hmm.
If they see that, they're going to be like, bro.
I mean, you may be able to, you probably could do it.
Now.
Right.
Now.
But starting out,
No.
I mean, even if you can do it, it's not then you've got to do a capital call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put a very tiny bit of my own money in here, but the rest of you guys better pony up.
Right.
Give this thing back.
Well, yeah, and it rubs people the wrong way. You're only going to get by with that a couple times before you're going to lose your investor pool, and they're going to have some problems.
I've seen a couple syndicators just take it completely on the chin, give money back, even when they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are now crushing.
Yep. No, we did that one time on a deal. It was actually a development deal ground up where, and we only had one investor in the deal, so it wasn't a full syndication. But yeah, we had promised them a 15% annualized return, just extra cost, extra time, overran it. But we ended up giving them that return. We made a little bit of money, but nothing to go right home about. But that investor ended up coming in and doing some more. Then we had another deal, which was actually not too long ago, in 2022 in Schertz, Texas. We had a 200 unit deal we were in escrow in on this. We went in escrow March of 2022, right before the interest rates started to go up. And then during literally the course of escrow, I mean, I think interest rates went up 11 times in 9 months. Is everybody, gnarly.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there every day going, fuck. And the deal just keeps going. Mm-hmm. And we had $800,000 hard between our down payment deposit and the DD money, due diligence money that was in at that point. And we're sitting there going, okay, we have 2 choices. We either walk from it, which we lose our 800, or we try and put a square peg in a round hole and risk $12 million of investor money. It's a dilemma, but it's not a dilemma. And I'll never forget it because we sat there with our partners for about 2 weeks. And I finally woke up and made the call to my other partners on the deal and just say, guys, I can't with the conscience do this, knowing that there's a 50-50 shot at best that 24 months from now, this thing, we are handing the keys back. And then all that money it's bad enough to lose ours, right? But it goes to show you how doing the right thing can pay itself forward, because so we walk away from that and I'm hyperventilating because I'm like, dude, we can't lose 800 grand, right? But we did. All those investors, because of how we handled that, we ended up finding another deal about 60 days later in San Diego, of all places. That was a screaming home run, and all that money came over.
It's also you're smart. You told them sometimes we lose, right? Like we don't lose investor money.
Yeah.
We lost our own, and we're willing to do that.
Yeah.
To not put investor money at risk. People really appreciate that.
Yeah, and it was tough all.
I'm sure GP took it.
What do you mean in terms of the GP?
Like how many partners?
Oh,
do you have?
Depends on the size of the deal. I mean, obviously, I'd rather just have one, us.
Yeah.
But if we have to co-GP, maybe you have 2, 3 max. Depending on who's bringing in what operational prowess. Some people are great at capital raising. Some people are great at on the ground boots, and then maybe you have somebody else coming in to help with the balance sheet and being a KP on the deal. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had more than 3 partners on a deal, and we'll come in as a management entity, right, into the actual main entity. So you guys were gonna, I guess, a team, I'm guessing. Yeah. How many people are on it?
11 brokers.
Oh wow, on the local team here.
Oh, 3. Well, us 2, and then we've got another junior guy that's ramping up now.
Cool.
And then we've got a guy in Norway, 2 guys in Greensboro, and we've got the
Okay. So are there deals to be found, or not deals, but properties available that are coming up in that kind of 10 to 30 unit pocket range
that are not on the market yet? But
or any of that stuff, right? I mean, once again, it's more of relationship building to get into. I call it the pre-look phase group. That hey, here's a deal we're working on right now. It's coming up. Take a peek at it, see if it fits your model, and you can write an offer now, or you can wait for it to hit Crexy.com. Which by then I call it the leftover.
Yeah, I mean, there's 30 units in Mooresville, which is it's fully on the market. But the reason it's still around is because they've just been finishing up some of the renos and lease up, and that's just happening now.
Got it.
So, and they want to.
I mean, I personally think 2026 is going to be a pretty good year. I mean, from what I'm seeing, because I just keep telling people it's all about that 10-year treasury. I said we're hovering right around 4.1, just under 4.1. It kind of goes up and down, right, daily. And I said, I said, you get that thing just under 4, like in the 3.9, 3.8 range, then most of your debt is going to fall into the low 5s, mid 5s. And things will start moving. Refis will happen. Things will trade. People will start putting it on the market to trade properties. That's where things will move. I mean, I just had one of our Walker Dunlap broker guys quote us on an agency debt, I think at a $6 million loan amount with a buy down, but it was at 4.99, which is crazy. I was like, wow. So it's there on certain loans. But I said, if it can get into the low to mid 5s for most of the debt, that's good.
I agree with you. I'm hopeful that we get the 10-year comes in. I mean, the Fed's definitely going to cut, I think. Despite the shutdown and maybe the data's not there for them. I still think they're going to cut probably 25 and 25.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the 10-year is going to come in with it.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's all bonds, right?
Your crystal ball is good.
Yeah, and that's all bond stuff, and depending on how the bond market is. But yeah, if we can get that in the high 3s, right around 3.8, 3.9, because then it'll force the rest of the industry in that 5 range, and stuff will start moving.
No, I agree with that. I think what would be great, we'll give you show you a couple of the deals we got.
Yeah.
And let us know how you're looking at the deal.
Yeah.
Whether you want to write on it or not. I like this about it. I don't like this about it. That'll help us
tailor some stuff in.
Yeah.
And where is most of kind of the apartment stuff like this? Is it more urban? Is it more suburban?
For 10 to 30?
Yeah.
I would say more definitely in the tertiary markets.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's still some in the city too, but in the urban core, I mean, you're 200
pricing. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we just drove past one just outside. Was it Noda? Noda. Okay, so tertiary. So within 30 miles of the city ish.
Yeah.
And that's where you're also seeing the booming markets like Nick was mentioning, Mount Holly, Belmont, Gastonia, Forestville, Annapolis. Those are all on the outside of Charlotte. Everything.
And those are all northeast, northwest of the city?
Man, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Not necessarily more on the, western side is weird. Okay. Like that one deal, I don't know if I sent it to you, Victor, but we have a 20 unit and 10 unit portfolio. They're 3 minutes from each other. That's in Stanley, North Carolina, which is bordering that town is Mount Holly, Belmont, Gastonia. It's one of those markets that's still kind of untouched. We're not seeing a super constrained cap rate.
Okay.
Well, and the key is just, once again, either path of progress, job growth, and population growth. So that way, you know, okay, I can buy this thing, I can add some value to it, push some rents over some time, and then we have at least more than one employer helping supply that market, right? And that's key. Yeah. So you don't get into, you're so tertiary, because then what happens is, you know, the lending requirements change and your interest rates go up, and all that stuff changes as you get further out, where you don't have the stable, okay, you're within 30 miles of a major MSA, and therefore population, job growth, and median household income are pretty stable and growing. And then the lenders like that, so then they want to lend there, and the whole game plays.
What's the job growth, market employment growth in Asheville?
I don't know off the top of my head.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We always like to see like north of 1% for job growth and population growth annually. If you can see that, that's pretty good.
I think the data for the last 12 months is like, I would take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Given that hurricane
Right.
a year ago.
Right.
So, like,
Yeah. So that's where the hurricane. So that was where the hurricane hit.
Western North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah. Like
Okay.
Asheville got, I mean,
That's why I was trying to.
French Broad River that runs right through downtown Asheville is the one.
You clobbered everything. Got it.
So that's an interesting market right now because people are a little skittish on it, but the fundamentals that make it a good market.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Are the employers there?
Yeah.
So population growth temporarily is hit, but job.
But it's mostly like hospitality.
Got it.
Because a lot of that stuff shut down. People had to leave. So that would be a market that I feel very comfortable. In fact, will be investing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, sure, what happened. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But it will rebuild, as they say. It just takes time.
Have you guys ever been to Nashville?
I've not. No, this is technically outside of the airport. This is my first full time in North Carolina, which I've always wanted to be here. I mean, it's a great market. What's cool, what I love is that it's technically, because I mean, flying West Coast to East Coast has always been hard, which is why we always started investing, starting west in Arizona, Nevada, and then we went into the Midwest. So that way I could be within a direct flight of 2 hours. But it's 4 hours direct flight from San Diego. So it's not like it's horrible other than time zones, but you're on one flight, boom, you're in, and it's not right into Charlotte.
Are people buying up like distressed properties in that area?
In Asheville?
Yeah. I mean, because I know San Pete got like slammed, but the next week after the hurricane, people were in there just buying it all up. Yeah. I mean, and now
That's what they're doing with the whole LA fire thing, which is just a joke.
But in LA,
I feel so bad for some of those people there, because
I wouldn't.
when that thing happened, I went to school up in Pepperdine, and I'm sitting there watching this go down. I'm going, oh yeah, we're going to fast track permits. I'm like, communities are going to fast track, right? That was the biggest bunch of hogwash. And the same things happened that you knew was going to happen. It takes them 14 years to do anything or think about doing anything. And because of then what they call a coastal commission, you can't touch something there without 14 layers of people talking about it and 14 years of people thinking about it. And then they give you a permit for $14 trillion, and it's crazy. So what's happening is you're having, a lot of money come in there, and you have families that, I understand they had a multi-million-dollar property and land. I get it. But they weren't stashed with cash. So for them to come in now and have to rebuild, given the new requirements and costs and everything involved, and they're way underinsured. So they're getting some money, but they're not able to rebuild. So they're sitting there going, okay, I have a beautiful plot of land that's worth X, but I can't rebuild the house. What do I do? So then they end up selling it to some hungry developer guys who are going to come in and do something else with it. And then it starts to change the whole dynamic of what was even there. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
They're going to have to deal with the soil, because that's the thing in California. Like, they always make a big deal about the soil. Oh, it's contaminated. Now it's contaminated because of all the, everything that happened with the fire and this and that and blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, now all this government environmentalists have to come in and they have to test everything and blah, blah. Yeah. So developers they're screwing themselves. So why do you want to touch that? Because of all the environmental rules.
Right, correct. No, it's a bit of a S show.
Yeah.
For that show. All right, so we're at the River Bend. This is a 30, how much is this one?
30. Yeah, 30 unit.
30 unit. This is part of our portfolio. Yes. There's another bunch of units too. So these are all townhome styles. You can kind of see most of them are townhome style. So they got fronts and backs, 2 stories. Tell me what you see.
They're 2-2s. I believe there's only 1-3, somewhere.
In terms of the exteriors, or let's talk about driving in, curb appeal.
Okay.
Like, what do you notice?
I think the curb appeal wise, it's not very distinctive. I mean, from the rest of the neighborhood, we can definitely do something about the entrances, make it look more welcoming. When you look at the sides, the sidings of the buildings, they don't look old. They're not run down, but they can definitely be cleaned up, and they can definitely be painted different areas. Overall, the neighborhood, I guess, the front doors can be changed. You know what it needs? I think it needs, or what would look nice would look to plant certain like smaller trees or smaller bushes somewhere, like in front of.
Yeah, I mean, what I would do is I
landscaping?
would just plan for a full paint job.
Yes.
You could probably keep the brick. I like the brick, but I would repaint the siding. It needs all the trim and all the siding. The roofs look good. You can keep the brick because it's traditional. It's actually a good looking brick. Yeah, you could. I mean, the asphalt looks good. They probably did that not too long ago and striped it. It's probably been 2 years since they've done that. But you could do that. I would say the signage at the front of the property, improving that. I would try and look at maybe doing some fencing. Even some basic railway fencing would do a big deal here, just to give people perimeter on the property and even the perception of safety.
Correct.
Even if you don't gate it in, you can give them the perception of it, and that would be nice just to kind of make it feel more homey with some better signage. And then what I would do, so when you always come to these properties, let's say you were an escrow and you actually put this thing under contract. You would come here 3 separate times during due diligence. One time would be in the evening, typically on a Sunday, see how it works, and then see the lighting. Because I would want to check all the lighting and make sure this place is lit up like a light bulb. I don't see a lot of street lighting. There's a little bit out front there, but I'd want to see how this place lights up and see if it makes sense to drop in some additional lighting on the buildings. They call them wall packs, where you can set them up on the buildings and just brighten this whole place up at night for safety. I mean, you're obviously in a good neighborhood, you're in a good area, but you would want this thing lit up. So that's one thing I would do. Power lines overhead are fine. There don't seem to be high powered ones. So you don't, like if it was buzzing, I'd be like, that's like a big 0. Because that's going to hinder people wanting to live here.
Here with the buzz.
That thing's buzzing all night. Yep. But other than that, super clean property. You know, super clean property. But yeah, I would repaint all the siding because it looks like it's been several years for that. All the trim, the doors, all that stuff, just to give it a nice clean pop. And you could even go with a different color palette too. You could do like one building one color, another building another, right? To kind of blend it all together with some better signage. And then yeah, I would look at some vinyl fencing to fence in the place. Even if it were some basic railway type, doesn't have to be traditional slats. You could just do railway fencing just to give people the perception that it's enclosed and fenced in. But yeah, parking lot looks good, striping looks good, good area of town.
Mailbox.
What do you say, Kevin? What does the cameraman say?
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it. Yeah, I'd also go with Victor's idea of maybe some landscaping, some little things to
little small.
Yes, you could do some hedges and allow them to grow.
Yes.
Some simple hedge bushes, and then they'll grow, and just got to get them trimmed. The other thing I noticed that's not on this property is what?
A management office?
No. Think about water.
There's not a water tower?
Keep going, baby.
Okay.
What's not on the roofs?
Oh, gutters.
Oh, gutters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no rain gutters. So, you know, it just means, and listen, you have grass around here, so things are being absorbed pretty well into the soil. But I would have rain gutters to divert the water away from the foundation. You don't really have a flooding issue here. The only thing I would be watching though is see how this thing slopes this way.
Yeah.
And then it goes over there. I'd want to watch it in a major rainstorm to see where that water goes. Because if everything is sloping this way, it's coming right towards this building. So I'd want to know, I mean, all of it. I mean, this is going to be fine because it's going that way. But everything coming that way is going into that corner. So I think there's a grate over there. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's a storm grate. I'm almost positive, but I would want to make sure that. I'm pretty sure that's a storm grate.
Yeah.
Right there. Pretty sure. But another thing I noticed, see how the sewer piping coming out of the ground right there? I don't know if you're looking at that. But that's a good sign if that's newer like that, because that tells me that they've probably done the other sewer lines. I'd want to check those. But you would scope all that stuff. Like if you were an escrow, you have a plumber come out and you put cameras down all the lines and sewer scope all the lines to make sure they're clear all the way out to the street, because everything's going to be flowing this way. Because that's a big ticket item. If you get a sewer line that's collapsed or in bad shape or blocked.
Was this the property with the piping issue?
I don't know.
Was it this one?
Oh, no, I don't know, but I think the poly or what they said, there was like the PEX old piping, so we'd have to look at that. I don't know if it's this one. But overall, you know, windows are redone, those are retrofitted. I like the brick facade, the roofs look newer. I would just repaint all the doors, trim, siding.
Redo the mailbox, redo the trash, redo the trash bin.
Yeah, you could put in new mailboxes. Yeah, the asphalt looks good though.
Yeah.
And I'd redo some signage. I'd put just bigger signage, and then I would run fencing around the property. So that would give the illusion of safety and being
good maintenance.
fenced in.
Do a river bend.
Yeah, you could just add some flair.
On that big wall right there, because that's the first thing
Yeah.
you see when you come in.
I've seen a lot of buildings around here have that. Like
But the key to it all in assessing how much you do is saying, okay, where are the rents now? Where could they go with very to little no capex?
Yes.
So could I move them $100 with limited improvement? Awesome. So you can get them there first. Then you come in with your capex package to repaint, do all the other stuff. Obviously interior, right now, stuff like that to add the value to get maybe, oh, okay, so I could actually probably take these things $300 if I did X. And then you'll find out, what is it gonna cost? Because here you're probably looking at, let's call it 7K a unit, because they're townhomes, a little larger. So you're probably 7K a unit, maybe 10K a unit inside, depending on what you're gonna do. But if that 10K gets you an 18% return on cost or greater, you do it in terms of value. If you spend 10, right, and you get 18% or greater on that, that's good in terms of a dollar figure, because that'll just add value over time. Yeah, that's what I see. I guess I would just want to double check the market. So I would look at, where are people coming from to live here and where are they going to work? So that would be one thing I would ask a lot is, where are they coming from? Where do they go to work?
And I would ask the actual tenants or
You do combo.
Yeah, okay.
You talk to brokers, you look at some of the market dynamics, and then, you're going to knock some doors. Say, hey, how do you like living here? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? I mean, you would do that during escrow when you're under contract. And you'd say, hey, where do most people work around here that live here? Oh, they work over at so-and-so, and they work at so-and-so, and they work at so-and-so. So you get a feel for, what is the demographic? Where do they work? What do they like about it? What do they hate? And you would just want that, because now that becomes that's a nice, old lady right there. That's good. But it just, lets you know, how can you improve the property to maybe even improve the tenant base?
I would like to differentiate as much as I can from the one across the street.
Right, which is why it's nice that you have the siding and stuff,
Yeah.
because you can do that. And I would do almost like pops of color. So that way it would differentiate, it would segment it. And fencing will do the same thing.
Right.
Like if you come in here with some railway fencing around the perimeter, it would give the illusion of, okay, this is my property in this area. It segments it from everything else, and it would just help. Minor, but it would make a big difference. So that way, people driving up, they don't make the mistake like we did. Oh, is that next door one the same as this one? Right, you would know it.
And I don't know about the property management, but shouldn't really be allowed. It looks.
Yeah, so usually what they do with that is they'll give like a 2-week
notice
window on it, and then they'll put a note. Hey, you got to get your car fixed.
Yes.
It's got to be drivable. You can't just do a bunch of fixing and we get on that too, because you have people fixing their cars and taking engines out and shit in the driveways and no.
Are these assigned?
Doesn't look like it.
They don't look like it.
And I don't think you need it out here. It's not. I mean, it's clearly not.
There seems to be a lot of parking for the amount of units.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have that issue out here.
Yeah,
but I think you could spruce it up a little bit. I think you can get some more rents out of it. I'd be curious to see if these guys need to move it, why. But nice little property, good area. I would just want to look at the job drivers for this tenant base and where they could go. Like,
where were they going with that sidewalk?
I don't know. It's a good
sidewalk
point.
To nowhere.
Hey,
were they doing another building? Were they doing a different
sidewalk to the baseball field?
Were they doing a playground? Like, what were they doing?
Nice camera rig you got there. All right, let's go to the next one.
Let's go. Should be close by.
We're gonna do a Chinese fire drill real quick. Go. There's a little 10-unit property. This is a portfolio sale with the other one, and kind of what did we notice when we were driving by first at this property? It's similar to the other one, but things you'd probably want to do.
Definitely paint, just to make it pop. Right now, it looks like, it looks a little dull.
Looks a little tired.
Yeah, tired, yeah.
But if you came in here actually with a colonial look like we talked about, white brick, so if you're showing the brick, picture this, white brick like a colonial, black trim, black shutters, red doors, black trim and everything, it would actually look really cool and give you a nice white, clean colonial look coming in here. And signage is fine for this property since it's smaller. Your trash is there. You're next door to an auto parts store, so that's fine. But another thing we really like about this area is small town atmosphere. You're about 30 minutes outside of downtown Charlotte. You're in a residential zone as well, so that's good. The other thing I'm noticing, I would, once again, lighting. I would have 2 massive wall packs coming off the front of this one and off the front of that, and then probably one over the front of each building, over the middle one. So wall pack. So it would just boom. It would light this place up like a light bulb. And then you have everything else in place. And that would look Rain gutters, you got to put rain gutters on everything. That's why you're getting all the dirt splash coming up. That's why you're having it come off the roofs there. See how it's coming off the roofs and splattering and splattering and splattering? That's because you don't have rain gutters. It's putting that dirt all over the place. Because when it rains here, I bet it fucking rains.
Yeah.
You need to come in here and put rain gutters on all this stuff, and it would solve a lot of that problem. Because otherwise, if you paint this thing white, it's going to look like shit real quick. Because you got to put the rain gutters on this thing
And
to
those
catch
shingles need pressure cleaning.
Yeah, so you come in, they would do that when they're going to paint. Like the painters will come in here, they'll pressure wash the building before they paint. They'll paint it, but you got to put the rain gutters on because that's going to help with a lot of the staining that's going on, because you just have that water hitting. And it's, it's bringing in soot and dirt and other things.
I do a landscaping feature.
What I think you should do
somehow, I don't know
Victor,
what, but somehow.
See, we take a photo, we put a statue
right
of Victor right in the front, like this.
It's like, say like, if you lived here, you'd already be home.
Call it Victor's place. Take your Riverbend Victor's place. Yeah, but overall, nice little property. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, well, and it's a small complex. It's not designed for that.
The other property has some
You could come in there and do some stuff. Yep. I mean, later you could clean up the asphalt, but I wouldn't. I mean, it's fine now. They repatched all this, but I don't think it's really needed. Yeah, the only thing I would really look at is the drainage on this property. It's fine because everything's flowing back, but I'd kind of look at this situation here where water's flowing. It's probably coming like here and flowing out the back, but just looking at how the water flows on a rainstorm, you can tell it's coming around the building and then going straight out the back of the parking lot. But that's kind of a big deal because you can see it's getting all caught up right here along the walls and stuff where the water's coming. So you just want to look at that. That's a drainage issue.
Does that belong to the electric company or to? So they're the ones in charge of if anything goes wrong.
Yes.
So anything that's below, because it comes in.
Yeah. So you get your phone and cable coming into that box right there.
Yeah,
big box. That's like Google Fiber, cable, all that stuff. Then you have your electric, and that's it.
Okay, the electric, but it comes down. But after what point it belongs to the owner? Because I think up to here it belongs to them. Then
Correct.
This belongs to the owner. Anything past this meter is the owner.
Yeah, I don't know the exacts,
Because
but yeah, it's probably something to that effect.
something looks really.
Which is why they have everything locked, and then that's not locked. Yeah. So that's the main disconnect. So that's going to be you per unit. So 5 over here, 5 on the other, and then you have all your cable wires and everything coming in. Pretty straightforward.
I know.
But you can see what they did here for the drainage, right? Water's coming, it's hitting this. They're having to go around the side. So this is just something to look at. If you were ever going to buy this thing, is the drainage getting caught up on the fronts over here of both of these buildings? The water's coming in right here. It's hitting here. Thank God that's up. But you have a lot of water coming in here before it starts flowing around. So it's just trying to divert it. I mean, you may even want to figure out a way to put something where it stops it, gets the water flowing around here to just get it moving that way.
Going that way.
To keep it from coming this way.
Yeah. Because that's
Probably look at that.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Just keep it away from the building because it's coming around here. It's hitting that and then finally getting around. You would just want to keep it off the building. You could put a curb up.
There's a step missing. Like,
Maybe.
isn't that high? Is it
Nah, not really.
Or is it?
It's there on purpose because you need it.
Yeah,
But I would just put a curb in here and then seal it. So that way the water coming off this thing, I would just get it directed. Yeah.
That could be a trip hazard though.
Right.
Like an old lady can't get through there. Yeah. I can't rent because it's too high.
Yeah.
I can't get into my house.
But overall, it's a good little property. But those are the things I see on it. You got your condensers off the back, little patios and stuff. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like it though.
Would it add value to create yards?
What's that?
Would it add value to create yards?
It can. You just want to look at that. Does it really make sense? How much does it cost? Stuff like that. Because yeah, it's not.
Because if you throw a fence and then you give everybody their specific yard,
Sure.
It might.
It could.
It
To answer
could.
your question, it could.
But you got to do a cost benefit analysis.
Right, and you want to pass through so you can service it. So you'll have little gates on them and stuff.
Yeah.
You get a police officer.
And-
you get a police officer next door.
What?
You get a police officer next door.